Hi everyone. My dad has Parkinson's, my mom has Alzheimer's, and for the last 5 years we tried to continue bringing them to Las Vegas every summer for the Matsuno Family Reunion. My mom now is her Alzheimer's got much more advanced and she can't come, but we continue to try and bring my dad. How many of you have thought about bringing your parents or your uncles and aunties or your senior friends who have maybe some health issues or injury that they would like to come, but it would be a challenge. They would need assistance. They would need help. For those of you who are already doing this or have done it, then this video is not for you. This is more of for younger, not younger, but parents, children of parents who you see your parents getting much older, your uncles, aunties, and yet you want to continue taking them or bringing them to Las Vegas, but you're not sure what to do or how to go about it. I'm Mike Matsuno. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. I presently live in Japan, and sometimes I make videos about Japan. But I'm making this video because every year I come back to Hawaii, and my sister and I, sometimes my brother-in-law, bring my before it was my mom and dad, and now my dad, once, sometimes even twice a year to Las Vegas. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I see a lot of people who are presently seeing their parents or their uncles and aunties coming down with different illnesses, whether it's dementia or Parkinson's, or some people have cancer, or going through a lot. And yet, of course, they want to take their seniors or their parents and they want to bring them to, let's say, Las Vegas, because it seems to be the easiest place. Because for Hawaii people, if you come on, like, let's say, Hawaii vacations, it's a complete package that has the hotel and all the meals included. And basically, you could just stay in the hotel and have all your needs met. But we've been doing this for the last 6 years. And when we first started, we didn't really know what we were doing. And we learned a lot as we went along. My dad started off with cancer. He had 2/3 of his stomach removed. Then we brought him. Then he had aspiration pneumonia, and then they put him on the tube feed, and then pretty soon he couldn't eat. So I was thinking, well, why go to Las Vegas, right? It's basically about eating and drinking, and of course, gambling also, and all the family events and the reunion are all based around food. When you really think about it, whether it's the banquet or meeting your old friends or relatives, it's really all around food and drink. And if you can't eat, then you feel bad for the person, as well as you wonder how they feel that it's almost like being left out. But my dad wanted to come, so even when he was on tube feed, we would bring him, and we would, on the bed, we would do the tube feed and set it all up, and we learned how to do it, and of course we made a lot of mistakes. Sometimes the tube feed, like it's a nutrient, it spill, or the pump wouldn't work. But there's so many things that we learned, and it's just something that you anticipate as best you can, but you'll never know everything. But for those of you who are wondering, like, yeah, I want to take my parents, or my parent, but they've come down with, let's say, dementia. They're starting to come down with signs of dementia, or they can't walk well, or they had surgery, and now they're just starting to be able to walk, and you don't know if it's a good idea to take them or not. And that's up to each person and their family. We bring my dad now because this is what he loves. This is what gives him kind of a motivation to look forward to. This is his one big hope, and so we continue. But yet, it's still quite hard. It's very difficult to do just one person, because like in my dad's case, he goes to the restroom toilet at night maybe 2-3 times, and someone has to be up to make sure to take him there, make sure he doesn't fall, help him with his his depends, kind of like his diaper, and get his pants up and down, and clean him up and things. So if you're going to do something like that, just one-to-one, it depends on the level of need of your parent or the senior person. If it's very minimal, it shouldn't be much of a problem. But if it gets to the extent where like you have to do tube feeding, or you have to like take them to the restroom at night, or my mom, when we used to bring her, she had dementia, which is Alzheimer's, and she used to sometimes wander or go out the door. So somebody had to be, I would be sleeping in the connecting room, and but sometimes I don't hear them, because sometimes I'm so tired, because just watching them and always being on takes a lot, and so we have cameras, we bring the portable camera, we have the bells. I mean, we had everything, and yet many times they got under the radar, or where maybe we're too tired to even hear the bells, or of course if we're sleeping we can't look at the cameras. But and of course that creates, so if you're doing it alone, it'll be really, really a big challenge. If you have like 2 people, then maybe one could do night shift and one could do day shift, where the night shift person could maybe take a short nap in the morning after the night shift, the day shift person comes and gets your parents or parent ready, or uncle and auntie or senior ready, and takes them first to breakfast. The other person can maybe take a nap, maybe clean up, and because there's a lot of things to clean up after they leave, but there's also like things like medication. You have to, like my 2 parents are now in care homes, and so we don't do the medication, so you have to really have it written down very well and broken down with pill boxes, and you have to know. And again, we forget, because we're in a different time schedule. We miss 1 or 2 a day sometimes. I mean, and as the doctor had said, if you do miss once or twice, don't worry about it. It cannot be helped. Again, that depends on your medication. So it depends on the level of need and the level of care that your senior, your parent or parents need. And then you have to kind of make the adjustment and decision whether you want to bring them or not. And if you do decide to bring them, then it's the preparation is the key. Getting everything together, having a checklist that's very thorough and covers everything. And remember, you will never be able to remember everything. And but then there's Walgreens and ABC, here if you need smaller things. But things like medication, you would have to bring like things like contact lenses or medication or glasses. You really have to already you have to bring. We bring 3 pairs for my dad's glasses because he loses them. So so again, it's really up to you and your family, but you really want to, because no matter what, we want our family, our seniors, our relatives to have a good life and a high quality of life. And if they really enjoy coming to Las Vegas, let's say, then and it's all contained in one package where the cost is pretty reasonable depending on the time of the year you go, as well as it's Hawaiian vacations. They have the wheelchair from the curbside when you drop them off all the way to the gate. They get on the plane first if they're in wheelchair. They get off the plane last, but then they have a wheelchair waiting on the other side here in Las Vegas. Take them to the bus. They take all the baggage. I mean, they have thought it out very, very well. So for those of you who just want like that one-stop shopping type of travel, Hawaiian Vacations that uses the Omni Airlines is really, I think, the way to go. And everybody on the plane is, of course, from Hawaii, but also a lot of them have their own mom and dad, or they've gone through it. Everyone has a taking care of a mom and dad or senior story, or they're going through it right now. And so everyone shares this kind of bond, this kind of like, oh yeah, I've done that last year. I took care of my father for 10 years. Everyone can relate. It's empathy. And that's really, really important, for the person who's being supported as well as the person who's sharing. They can share maybe their knowledge or their help, or they're just empathizing. They make the people who are going through it feel much, much better. And so that's what's nice about Omni. I've only had one not so good experience when, someone tried to come into the restroom, and I'll talk about that later. However, outside of that, it's always been, very, very good. People have been very understanding and very caring. So, it's possible. It's just that you have to think about managing your expectations of, it's not, depending on, again, every illness is different, degrees of how severe to mild it is. So I can't just say go or don't go, or this is a good idea or not. You have to look over all the different variables and go through it. But I'm just taking a kind of the middle route where a parent needs, help, maybe like changing, maybe they need to with bathing, maybe, or maybe even going to the toilet, then and as far as night shift, if someone's going to be awake, to take them to the bathroom and things. But if they're not at that level, they're much more, less, they have less needs, then of course this gets, much easier. So think about it, and I hope some of you will have a great experience with your parents or your relatives or friends. But again, if you do it, I think the most important thing to remember is it's not for you, because it may not be really a vacation. It may not be fun. You'll be happy and relieved to get to when it's done. But I think you'll feel a sense of satisfaction that if everything went okay, like we've had a lot of the times that they didn't, that my dad fell the last time, my mom fell, broke her collarbone and had hallucinations. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. My dad has fallen many times, 2-3 times on these trips. And, it's always been hard, but we've gotten through it, and yet we're still coming, because this is what he loves and this is what he looks forward to. It's about giving hope to my dad, hope that to stay strong and to keep on living as best he can. Anyway, again, this is Mike Matsuno, just making a short video. Maybe it's kind of a long video now.